Hi, I'm Virginia Calise. If you don't know me, I work for JLA Realty. I've been in the business 20 years. I've been a realtor for 20 years. 10 years in New York and 10 in Houston, Texas. I'm in the northeast area of Houston. I'm doing this video today to help people getting their house ready for on the market. A lot of times we as homeowners, we look at things different than a buyer that's coming in. So some of the things, I don't want you to go working on your house and putting the money in the wrong places, I should say. Okay, so to start, where do we start? Well, buyers' first thing they see is the entryway. Okay, buyers' first thing they see is the entryway when they're walking in. There you are, the realtor's fumbling around with the key. And in the meantime, the buyer is looking at everything going on right at that entryway. It's the first impression. Pulling up is probably the first, but the next is the entryway. So many people don't look at it. You'll see spider webs or dirt. So clean up your entryway. It's very important. Then we go into the house. Now, and you probably heard this before, the personal pictures. And the reason we don't like personal pictures, it's not that we don't like you and your family and it looks nice and cozy, but the buyer can't see themselves in the house as it being their house. It still becomes your house. We want them to see it as it's their house. So when you take out the personal pictures, you're good, okay? Now they can see it as theirs. Another thing I have with pictures is sometimes we have the sizing wrong. You have a small picture on a large wall or a large picture taking up the whole wall. Try to balance that. You can ask your realtor, if they have suggestions, because they probably do. And let's see, what would be the next thing? I took some notes here so I don't forget things. Lawn. The realtor's going to send the professional photographer. You want to make sure your lawn is mowed. Beds, it does not hurt to put some flowers in your beds and some mulch in your beds. But most importantly, make sure the lawn's mowed. It's just sort of a waste because it takes the whole picture out of there. How do I say that? I don't know. Okay, paint. If you have old paint on the walls, you haven't painted your house in 5-10 years, probably a good place to put some money. Paint will just brighten everything up. It makes a world of difference. You don't realize it until it's done. You're like, this paint is fine, and then you're like, oops, look at that. It looks like a brand new house, and I can tell that from experience. I'll never forget. I was going to rent a house once, and when I went back, it was actually when I moved to Texas, when it was a rainy day. We had 4 days to find a place to live. So, we chose this house. And when we went back, when we moved in, it was like, I don't remember this house being so nice. But what happened was the landlord had it painted before we moved in. So it was like a day and night. And we were sort of like, this house is okay. And then when we moved in, it's like, wow, this house is beautiful. So paint makes a world of difference. Here, pet peeve of mine, garbage can in the kitchen. So many people have the garbage can. It's right at the end of the counter, nice, easy, great to work with, but not to show your house. So, if you're getting a showing, stick it in the pantry, stick the garbage can in the garage. Just get it out of sight. That's another thing. Garages are good, unless you have a finished garage that you're showing off, but they are good for storing. Okay, you're moving anyhow, start packing. All right, less is better. So when somebody sees your house, the less you have out, the better. Where do we go from here? Bear with me. Yeah, so I would, and this is another thing, and this is from experience. I always say, pack up your favorite things first. You know, as much as it's sad to see them go away because they're your favorites, when you get towards the end of packing, you're going to be tired. And you just start throwing things out. You know, it's like enough is enough. I don't need all this. And you start tossing. But if you know your favorite stuff is already packed, you won't worry so much about getting rid of some stuff. And that's a good one. I've moved quite a few times, so not only am I experienced selling, I'm experienced at moving. A lot of agents, ask your agent, that's funny, ask your agent when's the last time they moved. And if they've never moved, I don't think they're going to have as much sympathy for you, because it's not fun. Let's face it, it's not fun. It's great getting to your next place, but getting there is sort of a headache. All right. Appliances on counters. All right. We got our coffee pot. The coffee pot could probably stay if you're a coffee drinker and you drink it every day. And you got your toaster and you got your blender, and what else would you have? Try to get rid of some of it. Okay. You know, leave something that you're going to use all the time. But if you don't need it all on there, or even if you do, if you can tuck it under a counter, maybe pack up some bowls so you have more room underneath your cabinets. So, you know, when you're packing, just put the stuff in. I have overstuffed closets. Yeah, it's when somebody opens a closet and everything's falling out, or, you know, it's stuffed in there, it's telling the buyer that there's not enough room. You don't have enough room in this house to put your stuff away. Okay? Pack it. Pack up stuff. Put it in the garage. All right. What else we got? Yeah, I got that. I think I wrote something on the back. Just bear with me. Oh. Yeah, here. This is a good one. A lot of times you've been living in your house for a long time and you always wanted to do something. Maybe you always wanted to re-landscape the front bed, or you always wanted to do, maybe to change your windows. You always wanted to do something, and when these projects sit in your head, and when you go to move, that's what you feel you should do to improve your house, to get you more money for your sale. That's not really the way to go. Ask your realtor, because your realtor is going to know which projects are going to improve the house for the buyer, because you could be doing something that bothered you forever that the buyer is not going to care about, you know. So as you changing your flower bed, you know, they were wishing there was paint on the walls, things like that. But an experienced realtor will go in and tell you. You know, we also have stagers, which are wonderful. And some of the stagers, Barbie, if you don't mind, I mention you, but she's wonderful. She would talk and teach. She'll do a talk and teach. She'll come in and just tell you what to do. Okay, so, you know, you don't have that expense. You've got all this stuff around your house, and she might just say, you know, move this here and that there, and you'll take notes, and she'll take notes, and you'll be ready to go. And that's about all I have written down for now. If I think more, I'll do another little video for you. But this should get you started, and I really mean that, with before you go doing projects. And so many people do it to me too, the sellers. You know, they don't want me to come in until they do these projects. Let me come. You have an experienced realtor. They're going to know what your house is worth, and when you do such and such to it, what it's going to do to bring the value up. Okay? And again, it's Virginia Calise. Please subscribe and like my video, and I'll make you some more. Thanks. Bye.